Welcome to the Novel Network with Libby and Derek. Today we have Liz Delton, the Liz Delton, with us. I'm so excited. How are you? Welcome.
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I love
We're
your
going to have some
background.
fangirling going on here, by the
A
way,
little bit.
for Liz with Libby.
Oh, thank you. I'm sitting in front of my bookcase, like very specifically moved here, so I can have a bookcase background. I'm not gonna lie.
I like it.
Ah,
I usually have a backdrop of the city, like New York City, but I'm on a writing retreat, and so I'm in a hotel.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that did look like a hotel. That sounds fun.
So I'm fangirling just a little bit because my niece and I read your Soul Dark novella set for our
Ooh.
first buddy read, and it was fantastic,
Ah,
and I loved it.
that's awesome.
Yeah, she met you. Because you live in
Oh,
Connecticut, yes?
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Or
I
you're around that
remember.
area?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was all excited. She called me. She was like, I met an indie author, and blah, 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 blah. I was like, I love you
Oh.
so much. And so
And here
I'm
we
assuming
are.
that
What
was
a
at
small
a book
world.
event?
Yeah,
I think it was like Kineticon.
I do a lot of local events. I'm doing Kineticon again this year. I'm excited. I have a vendor booth this year. Last year I
Ooh.
was in Authors Artist Alley, but I missed out on the signups, and I tried to see if they had any more vendor booths left. So I got like one of the last two. I was like, oh, thank goodness.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're a seasoned veteran at the cons and all that then.
I do a lot of events. Like I have some local, like a lot of local connections. I have a friend who runs a mobile book business, and she hosts a lot of events, like at breweries and things like that, like
Oh, that'd be fun.
That's
books and
so
brews
cool.
type of thing. They're so fun. So
I'm
they're at different
jealous.
places, and so you get a different crowd. It's really fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you find more people buy more books the more beer they've had?
Yeah, well, it's fun. The first one I did, it was in this little room at the back of this brewery, and they didn't expect the crowd, but everybody who came in had a drink in their hand, and I was like,
Okay.
"Hello."
Nice. I asked that because actually for the store that I work at with my parents, we did a vendor thing at kind of like a beer con kind of sort of thing, local. And there was a bunch of smashed people that came into the indoor part of it all. And they bought a lot of olive oil and balsamic, I'll tell you that
Yeah,
much.
you having a good time shopping?
Oh, yeah.
It's
It was
great.
great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Uh,
So tell us about your books, about you, what you want people to know.
You have 29 books, right?
Yes, she does.
Uh,
She has a
20
lot.
something.
20 something, lost count.
Some of the nonfiction ones kind of slip out of my like count.
I would count those. I
Yeah.
was looking at those. I actually might get one of your writer's notebooks.
Oh, nice. I write cozy and epic fantasy, and I also have a collection of writer's notebooks. And I generally write like clean fantasy. I started in YA. I now kind of go towards just like a general audience, adult and teen, but it's still, at a level where it's appropriate. And I kind of just had decided to go with these two routes recently, which is cozy and epic, and instead of like going to too many routes because I have a tendency to want to skip around. But I'm really enjoying like the Soul Dark series you mentioned, Libby. That one was like accidentally cozy, and
It
then
was
I just
so
kind of
cute.
leaned into it.
I loved it. I think I made a
Cozy's really
TikTok.
becoming popular.
I love
Yes,
cozy.
me too.
I do. I love cozy. I love cozy because I can audiobook it and not have to worry about my kids hearing
Right.
something that
And
they
it's
shouldn't.
Yeah, and it's just so just relaxing, and like I just finished Cursed Cocktails by S.L. Rowland, and I'm like I wish I had read it slower. Like I wish I didn't read it so fast because it was just I'm gonna definitely have to read that again. And I'm excited about the next one. But it's nice when you can read a book and just like be smiling and whatnot. But I do also enjoy like the epic, and so I read and write those too. But I like a variety.
That's good. That's
And it's the Soul Dark series that also is steampunk, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
yes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I read some steampunk like several years ago, and I'm like, yeah, this is cool, like
Mm,
Victorian, like kind of industrial, and I just thought it was fun. So the first book that I wrote in the Soul Dark series, my entire goal was like, I want to write a steampunk Christmas story, so I did,
nice.
and then like a year later, I was like, maybe I should do some other seasons. So I just started doing the other three. Um, and, like I started very randomly, like at the summer, and then I did autumn and spring. And then I was like, I'm going to put these in a collection. So
Cool.
I did a Kickstarter for that one. So that was really fun.
Yeah.
Got some artwork and all that. It
The
was really fun.
artwork is gorgeous. My niece Hannah has the color edition, and it is so beautiful. Like it's
Oh,
The
yeah.
color edition.
That was the Kickstarter edition.
Ah, I see.
hmm
yeah, she's got that one, and it's like absolutely gorgeous. A little
Yeah,
jealous.
it was really fun to do. And the artist who I got to do that character art, I had her do the some artwork for my next book, which is cozy, The Witch at the Edge of the Wood,
Okay.
which she did the what's gonna be like the kind of trade cover, the paperback, etc. And it's really cozy. And so she did that illustration for the cover, and I'm running a Kickstarter February 11th to the 27th for that one.
Ooh, coming up.
And there's going to be lots of fun art and things like that. So it's really fun.
Nice. Now, for those who've been following our podcast, so far we've had an author, we've had a narrator. You're the first one we've had on that's also a cover designer.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
How'd you get into the art part of all that?
Um, I got into it because I was doing it for my own books. And
Okay. I wondered.
yeah.
No, that's awesome. Hey, if you can do it, great. Yeah.
yeah. So in the beginning, I started out not good, like at all. Uh,
You gotta
That's
start
how we
somewhere.
all start out.
Yeah.
right. But with like a lot of practice, I started getting a lot of compliments on my own covers. So, people that knew me would be like, hey, would you do a cover for me? And then I started to do enough where I felt comfortable like doing it for strangers. So I have, like a little
Nice.
cover design side gig. And it's fun. I really like designing. I'll sit there for hours just like looking at the right fonts or for stock photos. And it's fun.
So do you also kind of look at what's popular in branding? Yeah.
Yeah. What I usually do is I'll have the author fill out like a little questionnaire, and if they have any preferences, so like fonts or colors, or if there's a style they like, usually they'll have something in mind, and I'll ask for like what I find handy are like Pinterest board type of things.
Mm,
Of these are the style of covers that I like, and then I will go and create a board, whether with what they've given me, or I'll go look on mostly Amazon and I'll just search that category and see what the covers look like in that genre and what would fit and what people expect for that genre.
okay. Very
That
cool.
sounds like a lot of work, but also a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It is fun, and it's funny though. I still pay other people to do my covers.
I wondered.
yeah, um, because sometimes I think I'm too close to them.
Hmm.
These days, like I could spend too long doing them. Certain styles. Let's see what I do. This one I could never do this. This is Jeff Brown. He is like amazing.
Hmm.
And it was like a full wraparound, and he is amazing. Like he drew the whole thing. I can't
Wow.
draw really well,
Wow.
but I can manipulate graphics.
Yeah, you don't see too many that actually do the actual drawing
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
cover. The only time
yeah.
I've ever seen that with mine is when Molly did both the finale for Ultimate Agent, where there's the tiger paw. She said she actually had to draw on like a few speckles of blood on the paw,
hmm
and then it was the Sorkor Salvation with the mammoth, and she actually took it and fluffed it up to make the mammoth even fluffier. And I was like, "You did that? That's so cool."
Mammoth. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did my covers, but I'll never do them again. I love them. I get so many compliments on them. They were a procrastination project.
Okay.
And everyone's like, "Will you make a cover for me?" I'm like, "Absolutely not. This will never happen again, and I will definitely pay someone to do them." Yeah,
Yeah.
that's such a cool talent.
But now that's not only the only two things that you do. You also do some narration.
I do. I've kind of retired though.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, kind of quietly. I did. Yeah, I had a podcast, fictional bookshop, where I would narrate the first chapter of a book, but
Okay.
not just narrate it. It was as if you were walking into a bookstore and you pick the book off the shelf and you open the page to read. And so I tried to theme like the little walking into the bookstore scenes at to match the vibe of the book. So if a chapter was like really stormy, like you're walking in the rain to get out of the storm, you go into the bookstore. So it was really nice, but it took up so much of my time that I needed to be like writing and all that.
Yeah.
So did you have like all the different sound effects kind of thing?
No,
I haven't listened to any personally.
Yeah, I didn't, but that was on my mind, but it was like it was beyond me. But it was really fun. It was mostly the editing of the narration took up a lot of time because just pauses and pronunciations and things like that. So
yeah, we talked to that's what Michael said when we talked to him too. Like the editing takes so much time.
Yeah. I really respect audiobook narrators.
They
I respect what they do
so much.
Yeah.
I hate when I see like ads online that are like, "You can make money on Audible. Just read books." I'm like, it's not that simple, guys.
No.
It's not that simple. It does not give the narrators nearly enough credit for how much work they put in and how talented they need to be to get good books.
They're always taking what they make and they're investing in like the new microphone or the new system or the next best thing for that. So
they're cool booths. I debated narrating The Witch at the Edge of the Wood myself, and I actually sat down and recorded like the first chapter, and then a week later I was like, no, I don't even want to edit this right now. I have so much other stuff to do. So I went and got a narrator. It's going to be narrated by Deborah Baum. She did the Weary Dragon Inn series, and she just has the coziest voice. I didn't really know a lot of narrators, so I looked her up, and I was like, oh, let's see if she's available.
Nice. I'll have to look her up.
And it's like you've been doing this for a while, and like you're probably one of the perfect guests to ask because the Novel Network is basically, it takes so many people to make a book. Like it's not just I'm going to write a book and I'm going to publish it. Like we've got editors, beta readers. So what has been the hardest part of finding and networking for you? Because you've got cover artists and everything now, but when you were starting out, what was the hardest thing?
About networking? I mean, I am an introvert by trade. So in-person networking in the beginning was extremely difficult for me. I've kind of learned to become an extrovert when I need to be in those situations now. But yeah, I had a hard time kind of reaching out in the beginning, like not knowing anybody, things like that. But I started way back in the day using this website called Scribophile. And
what year are we talking?
What year is it now? 25. It was like 2011.
It's not that long ago.
2012 maybe. And I use this website called Scribophile where you can put up your chapters for critique by other people, and you earn karma points by critiquing others, and then you can get yours critiqued. And I actually met a couple authors through there, and that was kind of the beginning stages of my networking, and I actually still am kind of friends with one of them. The rest is all lost to the internet of 13 years ago. Networking now is pretty easy for me because I've been doing it for so long, even despite my introvertedness.
Is
Yeah.
that website still available?
I don't
'Cause I've never heard of that.
know. I don't know. I haven't looked at it in a while.
It said it's called Scribify?
Yeah.
Is it phi like like fi
Like
ph?
bibliophile,
Okay.
scribophile.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're looking it up. I think Derek, are you looking it up?
Scribophile, yeah. Scribophile.com. Oh, that's such a cool idea. I love that.
I'm always looking for everyone. There's always people ask me like, "What's some good tools to get started?" I'm like, I don't know. I started so long ago.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what's a good way to get started anymore.
Yeah.
Talk to people, make
critique
friends.
critique groups are hard too.
Mm.
So that was like, a nice little online one where you did have to work up your own critiquing skills.
Which is
Couple
so important.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I went to an in-person writers group, and I'm still in that writers group.
That's great.
But it's down to 4 people. It
Okay.
has been since the pandemic, and
Oh,
we meet via Discord, and it's great that we still have that for
Yeah.
critiquing and
I
just
think
networking.
authors don't realize the amount of like work you have to put in to find the right people. They're like, yeah, I joined a writers group, and I'm like, that's great. Make sure it's a good fit. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
Make sure they're
Yeah.
trustworthy. They're
make
not
sure
going to
they're
steal your ideas.
make sure they're helpful and not just looking to have a power trip and tell you how bad everything is.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, because that can definitely hurt. Because
Yeah.
even though we're writers, like we can very easily get offended by like critiques that are attacking.
Yeah.
We used to have a rule when our writers group was more open, where it was you need to talk about the writing and not the writer. Like,
Mm.
you can't say, well, you did this and it's bad.
That's a great
Yeah.
point, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
We're all
to-
going to have different
Ground rules.
styles.
Yeah, this writing didn't work for me because
Yeah. Or I don't
XYZ.
understand this part.
I mean, it's good to come across that stuff that's not so great. And I mean, as a parent, I'm always like, I don't want you to have bad experiences, but then I'm like, you need to have these bad experiences so you can like understand how to
You
grow
can
from
grow.
them and that you don't like them, so you won't do them to other people. It's the
Yeah.
same thing in writing. Yeah, I have to go read a bunch of really bad writing so I can be like, I don't want to write like that.
So, is there advice that you would give the younger Liz Delton now that you've gone through
Ooh.
these different things?
I don't know. I think it would just be like keep going, because that's what I'm doing now still. Just keep going.
Nice.
And yeah, I think that's about it. Like I just wanted to write a book one day, and I did. And there was a lot to learn.
Lot for all of us.
The network and the networking like really helps along the way. Just people being excited for you and helping share things or opportunities, because the more people you know, the more like little opportunities you might become privy to. It's really nice.
What you have the Kickstarter, right? Coming out. What other big projects are you working on?
I'm currently finishing up the sequel to that book I showed you earlier, Flames of Gold. I was trying to finish it by New Year's, but we got sick and the holidays. I don't know why I was trying to do it during December. But the sequel is going to be called Echoes of Silver. And I'm at 96,000 words. It's probably going to be about 120. So I still have a little ways to go, but wrapping that up right now. Other than that, the Witch Kickstarter, Witch at the Edge of the Wood, is going to be the first in a trilogy,
Okay.
and I will be writing the other 2 of those. So they're
Also,
novellas.
Okay.
A
I
lot
love
shorter.
that in your Legends of Gold series, the main character's name is Fig.
Thank you.
I'm like, how does I need a story on how the character's name is Fig.
Absolutely, there is a brief story. There were 2 things that kind of connected for me. I knew I wanted a character with a nickname for some reason, and
Mm-hmm.
my grandfather had a nickname of Fig,
Oh, really?
and it was because he delivered for Nabisco, and
Okay.
he delivered like fig Newtons to people and stuff. So people
I
just called
love
him
fig Newtons.
Yeah.
They're so good.
So like everybody called him Fig like long after that. And then one day my now 4-year-old was singing the alphabet and he sang it slightly wrong and he was like Fig and I was like that's
Oh,
snapping it into place. We're going with Fig.
nice.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I love figs. I love fig Newtons. I don't know if you know the Brian Regan comedian
No, I don't
at all.
No.
He's like clean humor, and he talks about fig Newtons at one point, basically saying, I mean, they say that the serving size for fig Newtons is 2 cookies. He's like, who eats 2 fig Newtons? He goes, I eat them by the sleeve.
Yeah.
It's like I take the bag and put it off the side. It's like a fig Newton catcher. I just
That's it. I like that. Isn't it weird? Like, I had a
I
character.
love stories like that.
Yeah, like I know I want them to have a nickname, and I don't know why. Like I've never realized why I want one. Still
Yeah.
don't. But when I start a new story, I'm like, they have a nickname, and it has to be this. And I'm like,
I feel like it gives them depth. Like, all right, well, this is what I
definitely.
was named, and
Oh.
like this is what I go by.
Because the nickname becomes a term of endearment, right? So for those that actually, appreciate them and love them. Well, yeah, true. But like even for me in Primeval Ranch, my main character of Lucero, I asked a friend of mine with Spanish background, I said, what's a unique Spanish name that people don't usually hear too often? And she said, well, you should use Lucero, but her shortened name is Luz, L-U-Z.
oh,
And I went, okay, I'd never heard of the name before, but I like how that fits because also the character, she loses her mom to cancer. So there's a bit of like a double meaning there. But yeah, I love finding new names too that I've never used before.
I love making up names.
That too.
I do not like making up names. I do not. I'll scour the internet. Actually, I text a bunch of friends at once, and I'm like, I need a male name. This. The first 3 people to get back to me, I pick one of those. That's how I pick a lot of my
really
characters'
good idea.
names.
I know a lot of authors, they'll like search for a name because they want it to have a specific meaning for that character.
I used to do that. No,
Yeah.
no more. Now
I
it's
do that sometimes.
I need a character who's going to be unalived.
Right.
It's
Need
a
red
female.
shirt. Yeah.
Go.
Just pick a name that sounds like a jerk. No.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go on like Wikipedia or something and look up like, I don't know, like certain names to do with whatever, like deities of, something or, and I'll just kind of like grab little bits of the words kind of thing. But other
and then put
times
them
I'll just be
together?
writing and I'll just be like, oop. Or I'll put in brackets like name.
I do that. I do big bold, and then when it goes to like my alpha reader, they get a kick out of it because it'll be like in big bold, big fight scene here, or like some name here, and they're like question mark. I'm like, I'll get to it. It's not important. Keep reading.
Really sticking it to your later self. Like, I'm gonna have to fill this in later.
My later self does not appreciate it. I can
right.
guarantee that.
So you mentioned Wikipedia. That reminded me one time I was trying to look up men's names or like baby names from the 60s to have like, an older person. And for some reason, I share this every time it comes back up on my Facebook, like memories. But apparently 1967 on Wikipedia, one of the third top name, which I'm pretty sure is someone who went onto Wikipedia and edited this for fun, is Naughty Bear.
Still up on
And as soon as I
Wikipedia.
saw it, I went, wait, hold on. Who did this?
And it's still there. No one's.
It's still there. Well, I actually haven't checked in a bit, but yeah.
It was.
As soon as I saw it, I
was
went, I
there.
have to share this.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I was like, who did that?
So, what is your favorite part of the entire writing, publishing world that we're in? What's your favorite part of it?
I have to. Like, the first thing that came to mind was like when I do in-person events, certain things that I'll like interactions with the readers. So I've had some very memorable ones last year. I did like 20 something events, I feel like.
Wow.
And I had somebody come up to my table and go, "Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this book to come out." And I was like,
That's awesome. I love that.
another really nice moment was I think I was at the Renaissance Fair, and a younger reader, like I think they might have been 11, their parents were like, "Hey, you might like this book," and they pick it up and they're like, "Well, why don't you read the back of the book to the kid?" And the kid starts reading it out loud, and like that was just the sweetest moment to me. Like they really wanted to, read my book and check
Oh,
that
that's
out.
awesome.
So I think it's just the interactions with readers, like enjoying a world that like I created, because creating the worlds is the other part that I really enjoy, is like creating something out of nothing and putting a story in it.
So you said that you're fairly introverted though, or just introverted in general. What made you, or what pushed you to do events?
I don't know. Connecticut actually has a surprising, like, I don't know, there's a lot of events that go around here, and I thought that I just needed to take advantage of them. I think some of my first ones were with this local Authors and Publishers Association. They had some events at some bigger things where they had, multiple authors could come. And those were kind of an easy way for me to get into it because I wasn't me like setting up the event or anything. Since then, though, for the Connecticut Authors and Publishers Association, I've been helping them run a book festival. So
Oh, awesome!
it's come kind of not
Full
full
circle.
circle, but like it's really leveled up. So we had our third year last year. It was pretty neat, but I think I just thought I needed to get out there, and it is a really good way to reach readers directly. And I love the like immediate feedback. I even had at Kineticon, which is a 3-day event, I had somebody come back the next day or 2 days later and say, "I already started reading your book. I really like it."
Nice.
Like they were reading it in their hotel room that night or something, which was really cool to hear.
So you had
That's
enough
really
books to stretch out over the 3 days.
Yeah, it was a lot. I
Okay.
had lots of boxes, and I actually panicked and like bought more, and they came like the day before the convention,
Oh
and
wow.
I was like, I brought extra in like on the Sunday on the last day, and it's hard to know how many you need for every event. It's
yeah.
really hard.
You probably shouldn't have said how fast those books came because Libby gets very jealous
I don't
of
want
how
to talk about
fast
it.
books are. Books are
Sorry.
we were talking about it
My
before you came on.
my author copies, because I'm in Okinawa, so my
Yeah.
author copies take like 2 months to get here or something.
Wow.
It's ridiculous because it takes a while for them to print, and then like just the shipping. And like I did order some over like Christmas time, which is dumb because everything takes like 2 months to get here at that time. But I was waiting and wait just for 2 books. I was waiting for 2 books because
Oh,
somebody wanted them so I
wow.
could sign them and
That
send them
was
back
it,
out.
really?
Yeah,
Oh.
I haven't even ordered like a bunch of them. I don't. I'm
No.
afraid now when I go to order a bunch that like 6 years later.
Six.
Now, do you use like what countries like Amazon or KDP do you use? Like,
Amazon.com, because I've tried to use.
okay.
So I'm on a military base, and the
Mhm.
military base is a U.S. address.
Oh,
So
that's right.
everything's going to get shipped to America anyways. I have an off base address, but then the international shipping is really expensive.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
I kind of have to just
yeah,
take what I can,
yeah.
which is a bummer. Although I think Book Vault, or one of them just opened a printing press in Australia.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, Book
Mm.
Vault.
Is it Book Vault? I
Hmm.
saw that and I was like, ooh, because that's kind of close in general terms.
Closer. Yeah.
So maybe it won't be so bad to ship it to my Japanese address.
I don't know what Book Vault is. I'm out of the loop on that one. But,
Oh, it's a print on demand service. Kind of
oh,
like
okay.
you
So
can,
kind of like KDP. Gotcha.
yeah, or
Yeah,
Ingram.
they're
But
mostly in the UK. They just got US printing I don't know, last year, I
it,
feel like.
yeah,
And
and U.S. printing was kind of like they were still shipping stuff from the UK because it was not. They were having issues, so I'm hoping maybe this Australian one
yeah.
will be a good option.
Yeah. But yeah,
We'll see.
they kind of upped their game with some like bespoke
Oh
options. So they're
yes, you
doing
can do
like
like.
foil.
And are they doing the edges as well?
They did start with edges, end papers, bookmarks. I've actually
Good.
ordered like a prototype from them for
Oh,
my Witch a Kickstarter campaign. It hasn't printed yet still. I keep checking, but I know from experience that the book vault like bespoke ones take an entire month for them to like
Oh wow.
kind of
yeah.
get going, cuz I mean in print on demand for a book with all those extras, like I get it.
It takes
Just
yeah.
to do like one book or something, you know, difficult.
So I'm gonna look into that because I have been. Yeah, we were just talking about how I don't get books very easily out here, which is why I'm not doing any. Well, there's not really events to do out here.
I told her I ordered books on the 17th and they're supposed to arrive by Wednesday. She was like, "Ah," she's like, "Frig you."
I won't talk to you. we're over. It's all done now.
Podcast
Do
is done.
you?
No.
Yeah, closed. Do you like put a list out for your readers of where you're gonna be? Like, do you have a like? Is it in your newsletter or like if people are around you and they want to see you in person, where can they find that information?
Yeah, I have a page on my website for events, and every month when I send out my newsletter, I'll put like the upcoming ones in my newsletter because I'm pretty sure I have, you know, some local people on my newsletter. So I don't have too many books this year so far. I have Kineticon, and I'm going to be appearing at Dragon Con again, which I will probably be doing some signings there. I don't enjoy flying with books, but I will if I have to.
Where's that one?
It's in Atlanta. Um,
Oh,
it's it was really fun. I went last year as an attending professional, so I was on a couple of panels and did some signings. And it's just a big like pop culture fantasy sci-fi convention. It was amazing. Um, there were a lot of there's like they have different tracks that you can kind of there's like themes of the panels and things like that.
that's
So there's
so
like
cool.
a writer's track and there's like a YA track, kind of like a speculative fiction, various
Could
tracks for
you
that.
order your books and have them shipped to the hotel, like to
I
the convention?
Yeah, so I stay with a friend when I go, and
So
so
even
I
better.
I sent some like right from the from Ingram Spark. I think it was because I was like I'm not gonna get these in time at my house, so I sent them right to her house. So it worked out pretty well.
Perfect.
That's nice. I'm a
I
little
was
jealous
just
of you then.
scrolling through your website actually for events. You have done a lot of events.
I keep them up there as like a record. Yeah.
No, I love it though. So here's my thing now is imagine I'm at one of your events. I walked up to your table. What is your pitch?
Oh, I'm rusty.
Are you rusty?
I actually, you know what? I don't have a pitch.
Okay.
So that is
Depends on what they're
my
looking at, I'm
that's
guessing.
my introvert sales approach is I let them look
Right.
because I don't like it when people talk to me and I'm trying to read like the back of a book, you
Mm.
know? That's just how I work. My sales approach is my table display actually. So
Ooh.
I
Mm.
have a lot of stuff that I've kind of gathered over the years. I've got like a table runner. I have got props like fake plants. I have lanterns, um, like display shelf things. So my kind of approach is that if they were attracted to my books and the display, like that is what sold them to come over here. I'm not gonna like hard sell,
Mm.
but if they ask what anything's about, or if they just seem like they're interested, I'll ask what kind of things they read. And then I've got some elevator pitches, but yeah, those I haven't used those in a little while. So
That's all right. Yeah. I'm doing my first ever Comic Con this year in May. So
oh,
if you have
nice.
any tips, I will take them.
um, I mean, I have a whole list of stuff that I bring that I could
Okay.
share with you. I have like a little kit that I bring with me.
Ooh, the kit.
Yeah, lots of stuff. But the number one thing that you need to bring is your books
Hmm.
and money. Um, or
And
like,
swag. I've heard swag is like a big
oh yeah.
draw too.
But anytime I'm like leaving for an event, I'm like, all right, if I've forgotten something, it's fine as long as I have the books and like my credit card reader.
Right.
So I try not to stress about like anything else if I've forgotten it.
Yeah, you use like the Square. Hook it up to your
I have
phone.
a PayPal one, which
Okay.
is like
Oh,
the similar, but it's kind of nice because it goes just right into my PayPal account, and
Perfect.
yeah, card reader, and then change is kind of in that money thing
Yeah,
that you want to bring.
I actually did not know PayPal had
I did
something
not know
like
that
Square.
either.
Yeah.
That's new to me.
I wrote that down so I can, because I have a Square, but um, I also have PayPal.
Hmm.
So if you could just tap it, that'd
And
be so much easier.
I'm gonna have to start doing what you do, Libby. I mean, every time we have someone on, Libby's got a notepad and she's scribbling notes through
I
like the whole
do.
thing. I need to grab a notepad too.
so for events, I also bring my blank notepad because when I'm talking to people, they'll tell me about like, oh, there's a show that you'd love since you wrote this, like you'd love this show. Or like if I'm talking to other authors, they'll be like, oh, you need to check out the XYZ. Like I'm always getting like, I've got, random scribble notes, because you meet so many different people at
Hmm.
these things. It's great.
How's your hand after signing your book so many times, or do you pre sign them before you bring them?
I know I don't pre-sign. I don't know. My hand's fine. I don't know if I like if I'm like um I know how Brandon Sanderson, he signs like using his arm mostly, like he doesn't use his wrist. And
Right.
I don't know if that's what I'm doing, but I never really have problems if I'm like
Okay.
I
subconsciously
don't
trying to
know
sign
how
with
I
my
sign
arm.
now.
You're gonna have to get one of your books when you go home. Oh,
I
she's
just
trying
use
out a
my
notebook right now.
I just use my fingers. I don't use my
Mm,
whole wrist.
yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't think I use my wrist.
Sorry.
But
That
you gotta like
notepad.
look at it because you're like, how do I?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it later.
For those
Figure it out.
listening right now, we are trying to figure out our signatures right now.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's not something that you remember. You have to actually act it out.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm also curious. I know a lot of authors and writers start when sometimes they're fairly young. How old were you when you wrote your first book
Um,
or your first
are
project?
you gonna make me do math like in person?
No, no, not at all.
It was 12 years ago, so I'll give you
Okay.
that one. So not super young, but I actually went to college for theater,
Ooh.
and I did
I did
some
read that on your
writing.
website.
Yeah. I did some writing, but not a lot. I went for theater management.
Okay. My niece, it was a theater kid, and she was so impressed with all of your theater information in Soul Dark that she was like,
Oh.
constantly, she
Ah.
was making notes. She's like, oh my God, she must have been a theater kid because there's no way anyone would know this.
Oh, I'm so glad that it like
She
was
absolutely
evident.
loved it.
Oh, that's
Like,
great.
yeah. So,
That
okay,
was the
sorry.
first, yeah, that was Spectacle of the Spring Queen was the first book I wrote a theater into. And it was like really, it was really nice for me, like, and kind of cathartic, I guess, because
I
I've
can see
kind of
that.
left the theater business. And it was really nice to do like a set a book in a theater. That was
She
great.
loved it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
awesome.
is that just like plays in theater, or also like musical theater?
For what was doing,
Yeah.
I specialized in stage management, so
Okay.
I would stage manage any show. I did mostly straight plays, so non-musicals,
Okay.
and so I went to school in Philly and at the University of the Arts, which is very honestly depressingly closed several months
Oh no.
ago. Um,
Oh.
it was very sudden, and all of the
Hmm.
alumni are pretty traumatized.
No, I can believe it.
But I was going to school for theater management, and I was like the resident stage manager for a local theater company, and it was really neat. And so I like to say in my bio that I've always enjoyed the backstage side of storytelling because the stage manager is just kind of like in charge of making sure everyone's in the right place, keeping track of where people are supposed to be standing, the lights, the props, and everything. So it actually translates really well to being a indie author because there's a lot to manage, deadlines and things like that. So publication dates, kind of just like
Right.
the show date. So
So you didn't actually have to like boss anybody around like character wise or story wise in theater?
not story wise, no.
Okay.
It would just be like, you got to get on the stage in 5 minutes kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
also grab the hook if someone's on there too.
Yeah.
So
And yeah, go ahead.
is writing your full-time gig at the moment?
My full-time gig is being a parent, and I am very lucky to be staying at home doing that. And I get to write when I'm not doing that. And they are this year both in school, so
So you
I
get
have a
more time.
very glorious
That's-
like consecutive hours in a row that I get to do. Mostly admin work, like graphics and things like that. I usually write
Yeah,
at night.
when my kids went off to school, that was like, I was like stay at home with them, and then they went to school, and I was like, oh, what is this? All these hours to write. What is this? I did mostly admin stuff.
Yeah,
too.
it does go by very fast though.
Oh, it really does. Because you're like, oh, I can wash the dishes. I can do this. And then all of a sudden you're like, I have an hour. I have 10 minutes.
So in your author bio on your website too, you mentioned how world building is your favorite part of writing. Why is the world building your favorite part?
I don't know. I just kind of like coming up with everything and just making it all up, and just coming up with all the details. And I don't always do it all like in advance. Sometimes I'll just world build as I'm going. I am absolutely.
Okay.
I'm a plantser. Yeah, my first book I completely pantsed, and nowadays I will do a very loose, like bullet points of what's going to happen. Especially now that I'm like in a book 2 of a very epic trilogy, I'm having to do a lot more like figuring out of the
Keeping everything
plotting
straight.
details. Yeah. You need to know what's going on in the next book and set that up. So, yeah, I'm a hybrid.
Nice. Are you one of those authors that also likes to have maybe some, like making mention that you're foreshadowing something, or like every character's backstory is ready before you even jump into the character?
I don't, no, I don't do every character's backstory beforehand. I usually will have a vague idea, and it'll kind of grow like throughout the story. And sometimes when I'm writing, it'll just like pop out of nowhere, and I'll just be like,
that.
well, this is like what's happening.
That's exactly me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I can't do too much plotting.
Yeah, no.
Just like locks me in,
Well, I get upset when like that goes off track,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's a better storyline. Like we're gonna go that way.
Right.
And then I'm like, but I've plotted all that, and I've already written some of that, so I'm on the same page. Like loose plot.
Yes.
We go where the story takes us.
But then even with Libby, recently, she had it where she told me she finally came to like this moment that she knew had to happen that just brought so many things together. Like, how do you feel when that happens for you?
When like everything comes together.
Like it's just
But it just comes out of like the recesses of your brain. Like you didn't even
Everything
plan it.
Yeah,
It's
those
such a good
moments
feeling.
will be like where I'm like shooting out words, like they're coming out of a cannon. Like once everything's all clicking, it's like
Yeah.
some like
Boom.
I think one day I had like I forget which book it was. I had like a 14,000 word day, and
Wow.
that was one of those days. Like
That's epic.
I'm like that can't be right. But usually like when everything's coming together and like all the plot points and that's usually when it's just like I'm in the zone, like writing.
Yep.
Right now I'm a little stuck on my epic fantasy, and so I am actually going back and doing some like character work to kind of get me out of that, and like fears and things like that. So find the best way out of this hole.
Do you have any must-haves when you write? Like when I write, I love to have a cup of tea. Oh, my tea. I made
I was going to say, I haven't seen you drink tea yet today.
I made it. It's all the way on the other side of the room. I just remembered about it. That's so
Now it's
depressing.
oversteeped.
Anyways.
I don't have any must-haves. A device, and that's really it. Like I do love myself a cup of tea. I had mine. I'm sorry.
So, just for those who are listening and not watching, you have one that says Jasmine Dragon on it, and it kind of looks like the
It's
Starbucks
Uncle.
logo to a degree.
So this is like from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay,
I love that
It's
show.
like
Okay.
Uncle Iroh is in the middle,
gotcha.
and he had a tea shop named the Jasmine Dragon. That's like one of my. I mean, I have like 20 favorite mugs, but that's one of my favorite mugs.
Nice.
I do enjoy a good cup of tea when I'm writing, or like a glass of wine or something. And but I can just write, wherever, whenever. Sometimes I'll write on my iPad, on the treadmill at the Y. Other times I'm just like on my laptop, wherever. So
Music or no music?
absolutely music. So I guess I do have a must-have.
Lyrics or no lyrics?
I can do either.
Same.
But like sometimes if I'm like in my head too much, I'll have to change it to something without like lyrics. But oddly enough, lately I've been listening to a lot of like trance and EDM.
Nice.
Just
Good
because it has
choices.
like this really like driving like beat
Yeah.
and stuff. So or if I need something like without lyrics, I'll do kind of like there's some like medieval like epic music like Spotify
Soundtracks.
playlists, yeah,
Yeah.
soundtrack stuff. So that's nice.
Nice. Now I'm a foodie, so I'm going to go one step further on the tea and wine part. What kind of tea do you go for, and what kind of wine do you like to drink?
Oh, so I am a big tea person, so I could go on about
Okay.
this for like 2 hours. But
Yeah.
so I just had some herbal tea that was rose petals and lavender.
I cannot do rose. I don't know what it is.
So
I
I
just
good.
do
got
enjoy floral sometimes, but rose for me, I'm just like. So
I
I do like lavender. I love lavender.
yeah. I just got a lot of rose petal, like herbal tea, and it goes good with black tea, in my opinion.
Okay.
And the other tea that I'll drink like in the morning is Earl Grey lavender.
Mm.
And I don't know. I bounce around a lot. Lately, it's been like the rose petal tea, lemon balm, or yeah. During the day, I'll drink like black tea, like
Have you ever
hazelnut
had a
black tea.
raspberry cream Earl Grey?
Ooh, that sounds
It
delicious.
is amazing. We have a local
Ooh,
spot here, and we actually have to go back and I have to get more of that. They also have a banana bread tea,
ooh, interesting.
which is delicious. And I haven't bought it yet. I've seen it, but I want to get it for the summer. They have a pineapple black tea,
Hmm.
and I want to make like an iced tea with it
Oh
in the summer.
yeah,
Oh,
that
that
would
Yeah,
might
be
be good.
good.
I was thinking hot, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't like hot pineapples.
yeah. I would definitely use it for summer because we also have at our store a
Hot
coconut
pineapples does
balsamic.
sound weird.
Yeah, well, grilled pineapple's delicious.
It
Oh.
is. It is. But as a tea, I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I used to work at Tivana.
Okay,
Back when they
Okay.
were still open, and that's kind of where I got into a lot
that's what started your
of
obsession. Yeah.
tea. Yeah.
Nice, nice, very good.
And
And for wine,
Sauvignon Blanc lately.
okay. Any country? That's okay.
Uh, so the one I get has these cute little sheep on it, and that was the only reason that I got that
Okay.
particular brand. So I think
So
it's from New Zealand.
possibly New Zealand. Yeah.
I think it's New Zealand. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't drink anymore. I used to. I don't drink anymore. But when I did drink wine, um, I would only buy it based off of like the label.
Right.
Like,
Right.
like
How
this
else
is a
are we
really
gonna
nice
know?
label. Like this is so intriguing. I'm gonna try this. And my husband's like, you don't even. I'm like, I don't care. Look at the label. It's like a book. I look at the
Yeah.
cover. If I like the cover, I'm buying it.
Absolutely. That is their cover.
I actually think I know the
Yes.
one you're talking about, and it's from Brancott Estate. Is that it's got the little sheep on the bottom, upside down?
Oh, that's not it. Sorry.
No. Okay. I have had that one. That one's delicious.
I like that sheep is like the kind of
Yeah.
indicator.
Well, have
for
you
that
ever
area.
seen? There is like a bee horror movie. We're just going to go off topic for a moment, and it is all about these hybrid sheep that have had like a virus, and the sheep start attacking people. It's called Black Sheep.
I have not heard of this.
And it is such a hilarious bad bee horror movie. I watch it just to laugh at it because my wife knows I love the stupid idea of it, but it is absolutely hilarious. It's like people go into a house at one point and they know that a sheep is in there and is trying to get at them, and it's all quiet, and then all of a sudden all you hear is "bah," and
Oh my
everyone
God.
screams. It's like the suspense is perfect, but the fact it's a sheep is hilarious.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you would like our listeners or readers to know about you that you don't normally get to talk about because get to like usually stay on brand and marketing and this and that? But like, if you could just talk about anything you want to talk about, what would you want to share?
I mean, I feel like I put out, like, I don't really have any like big, like, secret parts of my life. I put it all out there. Like, I'm a mom. Like, I like reading fantasy. I do, like, fun fact, I guess, is I like to collect like gemstones. And like I've got like bracelets on, like I've got like a huge collection of like gemstone bracelets, and I think you can see on my shelf there I have like a cool sphere. So I really enjoy those, like just looking at them, and they're just really neat. I'll go to like this local gem show and mineral show and just looking at all the rocks.
It really is amazing what the earth can produce with pressure.
Yeah, and they're all different, like colors and like structures and things like that.
Labradorite is one of my favorites.
Oh,
It looks like a dragon scale.
Yeah,
like, true.
You can look at it in different light. Yeah,
I try to take my wife every year to a local one that comes through, and it amazes me, even the size of some of the things they bring in just to show on display. I'm like, how did you get this in here?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I think one of my like dreams like is to one day own like one of those giant like amethysts or something.
Right.
Or like a giant labradorite.
I thought you were about to say you would love to own like a shop where you sell books, gems, like all this tea.
Who doesn't have one of those like dreams? About owning some sort of book / whatever shop.
True.
Are you really an author?
Yeah, right.
I've absolutely thought about that.
Hey, I already sell my books in my parents' olive oil store. Like, I'm almost there. So.
You're stepping towards that dream.
Yep. So I also was looking on your website, and it says that you also enjoy baking in the kitchen, being out in the garden.
I do.
So I find the time.
I just like doing stuff. I really love baking. Lately, I've been into bread. I really only like doing like dessert type of stuff. Like for the holidays, whenever anyone asks me to bring something, I'm like, please, it has to be a dessert. Like I can't bring like a savory side. I don't know what to bring. Like
I was going to ask if you jumped on the sourdough train during COVID.
I did not. No, I did get into bread during COVID, I want to say, but just regular like yeast-based recipes. I don't know. I actually have been thinking about getting into sourdough now.
Okay.
Be late to the party. But...
My best friend does it, and it's so good. She just showed me pictures of bagels, and I'm like, this looks so delicious. She's like, yeah, my starter. It's so easy. I'm like, I'll kill that thing.
Yeah. She did you gotta get her to make you sourdough pizza dough.
We had, I want some of that. She gave sourdough starter to my daughter for Christmas. I'm pretty sure my daughter killed it though.
Oh no.
I don't know if I can keep one alive. That's why I've been kind of hesitating, because I do love plants, but only the strong survive in my house. So don't know if I could take care of the sourdough starter.
So you know what dessert you should bring the next time you go somewhere is look up the Canadian butter tarts.
Ooh.
So a butter tart is literally like a mini version of kind of like a pecan pie.
Ooh.
It takes a lot of butter.
Yeah.
And but it's like handheld. You usually need about 2 or 3 bites to finish it off, but they are so sweet and so delicious. When you get a really good homemade one, it beats like all of the desserts.
That sounds good.
I have not tried one.
Americans don't really know about them all that much, though. It's really a Canadian thing.
You're going to bring it to America.
I would love to. Yeah, do it, Liz. You'll be the first. Well, maybe not the first.
So, all right. Thank you for coming and joining us. We're coming up on the hour mark. Question. where can everyone find you so that they can go and jump on your information?
Yeah, so my website is lizdelton.com, and you can probably find my socials on there.
So thank you guys for joining us, and we will catch you next time.
Thank you.